Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the show. I am very excited for this one because this is going to be a very, very interesting episode. We have the infamous Nelk Boys interviewing probably the most hated man not only in the country, but probably the world. None other than Benjamin Netanyahu. A world leader who is responsible for, allegedly speaking, an entire genocide of a human race. Women, children, anyone's on the table for this guy. He's bombing hospitals, schools. He's stealing food, blocking aid, and apparently we're just keep fucking pumping more money into this guy. This is the one person that a lot of people online would be dying to ask questions to. But this is one of the people, one of the world leaders that refuses to be questioned by someone who actually can hold a conversation with his bullshit and his lies. The Nelk Boys are not the boys for this conversation. These time codes are going to be very, very juicy. Wait until you hear some of the questions these fucking idiots ask this guy. But we have also some lighthearted stuff on the episode, you know. It's not all going to be about the interview. We're going to be talking about the orbiters surrounding the interview. Everyone online had something bad to say about this fucking interview. And wait until you see the damage control these boys try to do just to save their fucking asses. What is so wrong with just committing to the fucking bit, guys? Like, this is so sad. I see this. People make these moves online. And they start backtracking once they get a little bit of fucking pushback. It's like, you fucking made the bet, lay in this shit. Like, and these Nelk Boys, if you know anything about them, they're supposed to be like these fucking prankster white boys living the high life, getting mad puss. You know? Almost very close to Andrew Tate level figures. These are not guys that should be backpedaling on the shit that they're doing. Not in my opinion, at least. If you're gonna talk the talk and be this fucking downing a gallon of vodka in one type fucking bro, I mean, you have to live up to the shit talk that people are bringing you online. You know, it's just, that's just the way it has to go, in my opinion. But like I said, we have a couple of lighthearted things before we get into that. I wanted to actually start the episode, you know, before we get to the heavy stuff. We don't need to get into the heavy stuff right away. You know what I mean? You guys want to be bogged down with this Benjamin Netanyahu shit, like right from the rip, you know? I mean, I know I don't. You know, I want to have a couple laughs. You know, I actually want to hear a PSA from none other than Mr. Hunter Biden. Yes, folks, we have a PSA from Hunter Biden. If you don't know who Hunter Biden is, I don't know what to tell you. You apparently have been living under a rock, brain dead, something. This guy was the talk of the town when his father was president. That was Mr. Joe Biden. You guys remember him, right? That walking skeleton that was you know? They were parading that guy around for 4 years. They wanted 4 more out of that fucking guy. You know? 4 more out of that. I don't... Okay. I mean, let's not touch on it too much. We're going to miss out on the PSA. Hunter Biden, he just recently did an interview with the Channel 5 dude. You guys know this Andrew Callahan guy, right? Andrew Callahan, he does these Channel 5 documentaries, and I'm not going to lie, the shit slap. Dude, the shit slap. The one that he did on Trank, I'm telling you, go back and watch the shit. The documentary he did on Trank, taking over the Philly area and the gentrification that's going on all around there, is fucking mind-boggling. But this guy ended up catching Hunter Biden and sitting him down for like a Joe Rogan-esque fucking interview. They did this shit for like 3.5, almost 4 hours. And Hunter Biden, we're talking about. Hunter Biden doesn't do interviews that much. Like hardly ever. So to get this fucking crackhead to sit still for 3.5 hours was like a fucking feat within itself. If you could only imagine what that's like. Picture a squirrel that drank a bunch of Red Bull and you're trying to get that thing into like a wetsuit. You know, could you imagine how hard that would be? You know, first of all, a squirrel in a wetsuit. Admit it, that's the cutest fucking thing you ever. A squirrel in a wetsuit. That's a good idea. Patented right here, right now. But one of the things that stuck out to me about this Hunter Biden interview was how how passionately he talked about crack cocaine. It was something like out of like a movie, like a inspirational quote type shit. Like everyone's at a pool party. It's the end of Van Wilder, and he's given this one last monologue to let everyone know that he's here to stay and he's never going to graduate. It was like one of those type of things. It like almost fucking inspired me to want to try crack cocaine. Like, I'm not lying to you. This shit, when you hear this, you're going to be like, dude, he makes the shit not sound that bad. Like, he makes it sound pretty damn good. Hunter Biden, everybody.
And crack cocaine and cocaine is sodium bicarbonate and water and heat, literally.
That's it?
That's it.
And those things are pretty much free if you go to like a science store.
This is free. You can go to your neighborhood convenience store and just get. Anyway, I don't want to tell people.
I don't want to tell people how to make crack. You know what I mean? You hear like he's fidgeting in his mind. Look at his face right here. This guy is like going through all of these fucking like nostalgic thoughts in his brain right now over how good the fucking crack was. Like he's having very, very fond memories of this, going through this. And the fact that Andrew Callahan can even fucking score these types of interviews, like, blows my mind. Wait until you hear this guy. He goes, the difference between crack and cocaine is like sodium bicarbonate or something like that. He starts getting in this crack binge type talk, right? And Andrew's response to that, he goes, and you could like find these ingredients for free at like your local science store, right? Like, what are you talking about? Science store? That's like, I don't know. That's weird. That's like saying like, you could find this at your local grammar shop, right? Like, no, there's no such thing as a science store. You can buy stuff from like outlets, they have like places online where you could buy specifically for these things, but there are no real brick and mortar stores that just say science store across the top of it. So this guy sounds fucking retarded. And I don't know. I just wanted to touch on that point. It's like the dumbest fucking driest guy is scoring these types of interviews. It's like, what is everybody else doing wrong? Andrew Scholes can't get Hunter Biden on the goddamn show. The Andrew Callahan, who has like a fucking 5th grade level education, can get this guy for 3 hours. He can wrangle this guy.
And those things are pretty much free if you go to like a science store.
This is free. You can go to your neighborhood convenience store and just get. Anyway, I don't want to tell people how to make crack cocaine, but it literally is a mayonnaise jar of cocaine and baking soda.
How different is the experience?
It's vastly, vastly different. And like for real, I feel really reluctant to kind of have some euphoric discussion. I know you're not asking me to do that, but have some euphoric discussion about crack cocaine.
I think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite.
See how Andrew does that? Andrew with his fucking little dry bullshit. This is what's so disarming about this guy, is he looks like a fucking freak, so you feel bad for him. Like, you almost want to talk to him. Because you're like, if I don't talk to him, nobody's gonna, right? So then that kind of, like, opens up people. That, like, disarms them a little bit because he looks so fucking weird. And then he's just so dry and, like, almost literal to a sense. Like, excuse me. He legitimately, like, you could tell he doesn't want the person to feel uncomfortable at all, and he wants to try to get as much out of them. So he just kind of like, he just talks real mundane and real literal. He goes, this is kind of like the opposite of that, right? Like, we're not really talking euphoric. I'm kind of like talking you off the cliff a little bit here. Am I wrong? You know what I mean? I think that's what's going on here. Now, Hunter's dumbass doesn't realize that this is a fucking trick that people like Andrew use to get you to fucking really let off the goddamn gas. Like, Hunter he just said it. He goes, I'm very reluctant to talk about euphoric talk when it comes to crack cocaine. Andrew says that one thing. He gives him a little bit of reverse psychology. Hunter fucking opens the floodgates and just starts having the most euphoric discussion about crack cocaine that you've ever heard in your goddamn life.
But like for real, I feel really reluctant to kind of have some euphoric discussion. I know you're not asking me to do that, but have some euphoric discussion about crack cocaine.
Watch the
I
hands.
think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite.
It was like a fucking like a spell Andrew was like doing on him. He goes, I think it's kind of like the opposite here. You have to watch the hands. When he does that twist of the hands, he goes, the opposite right there. Now Hunter's like under the spell. He's like, oh shit. He's got the truth serum in him.
Crack cocaine.
I think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite. I'm saying I don't want to have the experience of some euphoric recall.
But
That's how powerful crack cocaine is. Does crack cocaine make you act any differently? No. Is it safer than alcohol? Probably. People think.
I love that. You go, probably. Is it safer than alcohol? Probably. He does that with his hands. Probably.
That's how powerful crack cocaine is. Does crack cocaine make you act any differently? No. Is it safer than alcohol? Probably. People
with his hands, you go, probably. He's like really trying to sell this case.
Think of crack as being dirty.
Look, you have to catch this first part. He goes, people think crack is dirty, right? And he goes to tell you about how crack is the cleanest fucking drug you could ever get your hands on. Watch this.
Safer than alcohol? Probably. People think of crack as being dirty. It's the exact opposite. When you make crack, what you're doing is you're burning off all the impurities so that it could bind with the sodium bicarbonate, which makes it smokable. That's all. You know, all of these actors and, you know, people in the past that talked about they had a problem with cocaine and freebasing. They were smoking crack.
So straw on the stove is the same thing.
Look, I love this. He goes, all these goddamn celebrities, they were talking about freebasing like it was any different. They were the same as me, goddammit. And then Andrew goes, oh, so freebasing is the same thing as smoking crack. Now listen to Hunter's answer.
And, you know, people in the past that talked about they had a problem with cocaine and freebasing. They were smoking crack.
So straw on the stove is the same thing.
Not exactly. But
nope, not exactly, bro. As I light my joint with the most crack fucking cocaine lighter you could possibly imagine, a blowtorch, you know. I love that. He goes, all these celebrities, they were freebasing, they were all smoking crack. It was the same thing I was doing to act like they're better than me. And then he goes, oh, so it is the same thing. He goes, nope, not exactly. It's slightly different.
But close to it. But it's a little bit different. But anyway, my point about it, your point about it, which I think is true, is that there's a thing about crack that is really insidious. And what it is that anytime, you know, I think one of the reasons that they believe that smoking cigarettes is so addictive is because it combines three really important things.
Watch this. Listen to this. He breaks down the addiction of smoking cigarettes like a fucking Harvard level professor. Like this is why I say this is why I use the word the adjective passionate when describing how he speaks about these things, because you have to have a level of passion to be this articulate and this in-depth about like the psychology behind all of this. You have to be passionate about anything to talk about anything in depth like this. Like, my big thing is cameras. I like cameras a lot. I'm not the most passionate guy about cameras. I can't tell you every single thing out there, but I would like to be that guy. You know what I mean? That's how much I like cameras. So if someone starts talking to me about cameras, I start lighting the fuck up. I could get like real intricate. I could start talking in lingo that like someone who's not into cameras is going to be like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But I would have this like confident level of like knowledge. Like you would get the impression that I knew what I was talking about, right? It's the same thing with this guy. He breaks down this whole ritualistic nature of like smoking cigarettes and how it relates to like smoking crack. I'm telling you, I was like, dude, maybe Hunter's not an idiot. Like, he might be one of those geniuses that just got bored and was like, crack is the funnest thing in the world.
Addictive is because it combines three really important things. It's habit forming, there's an oral fixation, and there is a ritual combined with it. And so the idea of hand to mouth is a habit and a fixation that we learn very early, even as children. With a pacifier, with a spoon, with your thumb, to breastfeeding. Okay, so really, I don't want to get into the psychology of it because I'm no expert, but I do know this, is that you combine with that ignition, combustion, and then you combine the ritual. You have your cigarette in the morning, you have your cigarette when you get out of the car, you have your cigarette with your coffee, Crack is that on steroids.
I love, dude, this guy. I could listen to this guy talk about crack cocaine for hours. This is like ASMR to me. He uses, he goes, this is the whole psychology behind it. You have ignition. You have combustion. He sounds like the guy who's like about to announce the rockets going off. He's like, ignition, combustion, 10, 9, 8. You know what? This guy, this is what I love so much about this clip. And for 3.5 hours, this was the only good clip out of the whole goddamn lot, let me tell you.
Yeah, but because I'm no expert, but I do know this, is that you combine with that ignition, combustion, and then you combine the ritual. You have your cigarette in the morning, you have your cigarette when you get out of the car, you have your cigarette with your coffee. Crack is that on steroids. It's over and over. There's ritual to it. There's a ritualized part of it. The combination of all of those addictive behaviors together becomes like really powerful. And the drug in and of itself is a more immediate euphoric sensation and connected to it than, in my experience, cocaine alone.
Does it require more frequency to maintain the high?
Yes. And
see, this is what I'm talking about. We're just going to end it here because I can't. Well, no, we have to listen to him finish this PSA. But this is what I'm saying. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. Andrew knows how addictive crack is. Every single person and their grandmother knows how addictive crack is. He's asking these questions in a very disarming way. And Hunter's fucking falling for this shit. Like, I mean, no wonder this guy fell into the goddamn trap. This is like a crack dealer's wet dream. You give this guy like a sample, like a little, like a taste for free. You got this guy locked down for at least 6 to 8 months. You have a solid customer.
Capacity to use more than you could otherwise with powder cocaine, just physically to be able to ingest it.
So you're kind of saying that cocaine reaches a certain plateau of euphoria where you can't necessarily get any higher.
In my experience, yes. This is like a PSA. If you want to completely, utterly fuck up your life, I don't think that anything is necessarily, oh, you do it once, you're addicted. But there's about the closest thing that statement could be true would be with crack cocaine.
That's your PSA, everybody. Let's give it up for Hunter Biden, Esquire, dude. That was so fucking, like, when I saw that, I was, like, shocked. I watched that interview during work. I couldn't get any work done listening to Hunter Biden. Bored me for 3 hours and 40 minutes, and then I got that 3 minutes out of that, and that was pretty much, like I said, the best part. But moving on, I wanted to show you guys this. We will be getting into the Netanyahu stuff in just a second. I wanted to show you guys this real fast. You guys know Mike Malak? You guys know this Mike Malak guy? You know? He's co-host of the Impulsion podcast with Logan Paul. Mike Malak's practically like the fucking, like the full-blown host of that shit. He's like blowing Logan out of the goddamn water. All of a sudden, he's this huge businessman. Logan gave this guy like 0.001% in Lunchly, and now he thinks he's like fucking Mr. Beast. He started this shit before getting that share in Lunchly with this like 10 out of 10 burgers, right? He thinks Mike Malak legitimately thinks he's like the Dave Portnoy of burgers. He wants to do like one bite burger reviews, and then he's launched this 10 out of 10 burger brand. They're like these shitty smash burgers. There's nothing special about them. Banana out of 10 burgers at best. So then he gets that 0.00001% in Lunchly. Now this guy thinks he's a fucking business mogul. He wants to start launching products out the goddamn wazoo. I'm scrolling through X, right? And I noticed all of a sudden, Mr. Mijlak, he has a Malak, his name, it's M-A-J-L-A-K. So I always pronounce it Mike Mijlak. So I'm scrolling through X, all of a sudden I see Mr. Mijlak has launched a fucking breath mint company, right? I thought this was kind of weird. I was like, why breath mints? Like, that's so off-brand. You 10 out of 10 burgers, you got Lunchly, what are you doing, breath mints now? Breath mints aren't for little kids, you know? Breath mints are for the preteens, the teenagers. Those are for people who are trying to get their kiss on, their freak, if you will, right? Look at this little tweet from Mike. Today we launched @GetDeathBreath. Oh, I'm sorry. I pronounced it wrong. This is how shitty the brand is. I even read it backwards. Today we launched @GetBreathDeath. Okay? Breath Death is the name of the fucking mint brand. An all-natural disruptor. He stole this word from Logan Paul. It's a disruptor. That's Logan's thing. He goes, Lunchly is a disruptor in the children's lunch space. You know, it's like, what the fuck? So today we launched Get Breath Death, an all-natural disruptor to the stale oral health space. No flavors, just organic peppermint oil and active zinc, which is clinically proven to kill bad breath. Really hope you guys like it. And then here we have the product. It's a nice little tube. It looks like it would be like a tube of mint. It's not. This shit is like, look, here's a video right here of someone testing it out, right? Watch this. It's not mints. They're like Pop Rocks. So this guy has a tube full of like mint flavored Pop Rocks, and that's supposed to be like scientifically proven to be like better than a regular ass mint.
Don't chew it. Leave it on your tongue.
Oh.
Show me. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Are they fire?
I love that.
Her mouth sounds like it's gonna fucking explode, god damn it.
What the fuck?
And look at those goddamn teeth. Look at those teeth, boy. Hey, yo, get back to the teeth. She had some fucking gigantic teeth, dude. We have to see those teeth again.
Oh.
Oh.
Show me.
Look at those goddamn teeth. Each one of those what's white and wide? I mean, they look like walls. They legitimately look like walls sticking out of her goddamn face. Gigantic chiclets, tombstones, if you will. One sip of Sprite and this girl's head is fucking popping the fuck off.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Are they fire?
I love that.
Isn't that crazy? Are they fire? Are they fire, bro? See, I think this is just Mike trying to like I think he's gonna angle this as like him going, you guys want like these breath mints that'll help you like hit on OnlyFans models and get your fucking dicks wet? You eat like 10 out of 10 burgers, bro, and then like I fucking smash a Lunchly. After all that fucking nasty pizza sauce from the Lunchly is like all in my fucking grill and shit. I pop a fucking breath death, fucking couple Pop Rocks, and then I'm fucking ready to fuck these OF whores. You know? That's how I picture him trying to sell this goddamn product. And then the funny thing is, you scroll down, right down here, you come to find out, it's not even actually his product. He's like, the tweet made it seem like it was like full blown his product. He's like, we're launching this thing. He makes no mention of any of the other creators. He doesn't at anyone. None of that shit. He doesn't go, we're launching this in conjunction with Aiden Ross, FaZe Banks, Little Yachty. There's like so many fucking names attached to these goddamn mints. He mentions none of it. He tries to make it seem like it's him launching his own brand, right? And then underneath he goes, it's backed by the actual Avengers. Look at all these creators that it's backed by. Again, trying to give you the illusion that it's his brand and he got them on board, right? This is typical Mike Malak shit. This is like typical like fucking fiend, like ex-heroin addict shit. You know what I mean? Trying to get one off on all these fine, respectable creators like Sketch and Jake Paul and fucking MGK. I mean, why? Every single fucking person on this goddamn list is a bigger name than Mike, and he's trying to make it seem like this is legitimately his product. Then I come to find out it's fucking Aiden Ross's goddamn product. Watch this shit. So look at this.
I started my own product.
Hold up, Aiden. We need to full screen you, my friend. Look at this. I keep on doing research about this product because I want to know how much it is. I want to know where to buy it. I'm like, because this guy is a total shyster, this Mike Malak. So naturally, this interests me. I keep scrolling. I keep doing a little digging. Come to find out, Aiden's the one who fucking started it. He's the one who got everyone behind it. Mike probably got lucky that he was even able to fucking slap his name anywhere near this. Like, Mike legitimately probably had to beg Logan to beg Aiden and go, please, just give him a fucking 0.0000001%. That's what I did with him with Lunchly, you know? Like these guys essentially what they're doing is they're essentially unplugging the controller and handing it to Mike and going, "You can play. You know, you can play with us." They hit him with the Big Brother shit, right? They go, "You could have a fucking sliver of the shit. Say you're part owner, right? You know, those OF bitches are gonna love that. You say you're part owner of Lunchly with Logan Paul. Now you can sit there and say you're co-owners with this brand with Lil Yachty, MGK, fucking Sketch. Sketch. Imagine Sketch with a mouthful of fucking mint pop rocks, dude. The guy would be like, he'd fucking explode. Okay? Now, look at this. This is Aiden's idea.
I started my own product. It's called Breath Death. Sketches in it. He's talking about it on TikTok. I started a product. WWE's involved. We got like a bunch of rappers involved. Basically, chat, it's like some shit for your breath. It's my own product. I got equity of it. So I'm letting y'all know y'all gonna see this product about to start flying. Like you're gonna see every streamer start doing it and shit like that. I gave Cupham some equity of my equity. So Cupham's gonna have equity of this. Cupham's first equity product. You don't have any equity.
I don't want equity.
You do though. I'm telling you, hey, this shit's gonna sell for a lot of money one day.
Look at that. It's going to sell for a lot of money.
Candy breath. So watch.
So has no drugs.
No drugs. Watch. Go hear the pop.
Look, you know what's crazy is let's go back to that. It looks like crack. It legitimately looks like crack cocaine. Let's see if we can get one. Look at that. I mean, it's kind of blurry because the fucking quality of his stream is shit, but it looks like crack rocks. Like Hunter Biden would lose his mind over a product like this.
It'd be like a minty candy breath. So watch.
So has no drugs.
No drugs. Watch. Go hear the pop. Hear it?
Nice.
Nah, I hear it.
How about look?
ASMR.
Okay, now I hear.
So look.
Now I hear.
You got dissolve.
This guy, they're making me want pop rocks right now. So look, this isn't even Mike's idea, bro. And then you remember, we're going to do a speed round on this one. You remember I was telling you, I said, I envision Mike. And when I thought it was Mike's company, I envision Mike pushing this by going like, hey, you want something that'll help keep your breath fresh when you're trying to hit on these OnlyFans whores, these Instagram models and shit, you know? When you want to be an influencer like us? You want to hit on Instagram sluts? You want to hook up with OF models? Bro, you're going to need to get the breath death, you know? You're going to need to do these crack rocks, get your breath right. Now, this is the commercial for the shit. I said all that stuff as a joke, right? And I thought that up as a joke when I was looking all this stuff up. This is the commercial for this. It's exactly what I envisioned it to be. Everything that I said as a joke, once again, it's real. That's exactly how they're marketing this. You want hot internet girls to fuck you? Okay. You're gonna need breath death. Look at that. Ooh. That breath sticky. Look at that. Look, he sees the death breath. You guys know who that is? You know who the guy is? That's Jeff Wittig. Good old Jeff Wittig. I still can't believe a guy like Jeff Wittig is even friends with a guy like me. Like poor, sweet, innocent Jeff Wittig. Guy's never done anything to anyone ever in his goddamn life. David Dobrik goes, fucks his whole world up with the goddamn crane. The guy's had like 18 eye surgeries, right? And that's fucked his whole goddamn shit up because this guy is like getting in cahoots with sunglasses brands that just like fucking disappear out of thin air like that. Poof. You know what I mean? He had a sunglass brand, right? He was like, yo, I'm putting my name on it. These sunglasses are so goddamn cool. Mike David from Red Bar. You guys know my good friend fucking Red Bar? This guy was like buying up the sunglasses like fucking gangbusters. He was like, they were running out of stock because Mike David was buying so goddamn many of them, right? Turns out the company that Jeff ended up getting in bed with off the sunglasses, they were scammers, man. Jeff had to distance himself from the whole brand. So it's like Jeff is not capable of making these decisions. He needs a better publicist than this. Now he's in bed with Breath Death. Look at how they have this asshole looking. With these nerdy he looks like a fucking extra from a Weezer fucking video. Uh-oh. Look, you could see this OnlyFans slut. She could smell it. She could smell it in the air. She's like a shark. She's like a goddamn shark right now. She smells it in the air. Watch, he takes one little crack rock to the fucking noggin, and this girl's ready to strip it all down. She's ready to throw it all away for Jeff Wittick. Look at it. Yes, yes. Uh-oh. Jeff Wittick looking like Markiplier. What the fuck? Jeff Wittick really does look like Markiplier right here. Look at that. Markiplier doing this goddamn death breath commercial. Oh, bazinga. You see those goddamn tits, boy. Hold up. Jeff Wittick, dude, if that's what death does, this is, and every single thing about this is a ripoff. This is an Axe commercial. This is an Axe commercial. Like, let's get real here. Anyone who grew up with Axe knows, you've seen these commercials. Every single Axe commercial, a guy sprays the shit in Dubai. A girl in America is ready to rape him. You know what I mean? Every single Axe commercial, girls are tearing fucking people apart just to get the guy spraying Axe, right? It's the same concept. This girl gets a friend request from Jeff Wittick, denies it. Jeff pops a couple breath deaths, you know, he pops a couple crack rocks, and now all of a sudden this girl is ready to fix a junkie, you know, like most women are. Bazinga! I love that. Look at those fucking tits. God damn them tits. I'm buying 4 tubes of death breath. You get tits like that with each purchase. Yo, be careful with his eye, bitch. Yo, did you see the way she did? Jeff, you can't be doing this in commercials like this. If I was Jeff Doctor, I'd be having a fucking fit. Look at this. This guy's had 19 goddamn surgeries on his fucking left eye, right? And watch, this girl's gonna fucking rip the sunglasses off and just rub her hand all in his fucking eye canal. Look at this. What are you doing? What are you doing? This poor guy. Look at that, guys. Give it up for Jeff Wittick. If you want to get puss, you guys want to get puss, you're going to need that fucking, to get the death breath, okay? Now, here's the crazy part about this whole thing, right? Wait until I blow this one up for you guys, and then we're going to move on to the Bibi Netanyahu. So, turns out, not even their idea, bro.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Turns out the whole shebang, it ain't even their idea. Death Breath, right, was the name of it. Then it had the @ right? It was @ Death Breath, or Breath Death, right? Whatever. Same shit. Look, this guy, let's see. Death Breath Mints. Okay, so they switched the 2 words. My bad. Maybe it is a little bit original. There's this Bristol-based parody artist, creator. His name is Dead Original. He's catching people's attention with his Death Breath Mints. Some say they pack a deadly punch similar to a Trebor mint, but pack fewer calories as a Tic Tac. People are loving this idea. This was 4 fucking years ago. This was 4 years ago. There was an artist that was making these toys called Death Breath Mints, and the mints were shaped like skulls, right? These guys, they basically stole the whole brand off of this. Death Breath Mints. Even the lettering is like a shitty and kind of gritty like that, you know what I mean? Look at, and here's the best part. We're going to end it on this. You go on the website, bro, these things are expensive as fuck. For 4 tubes of this shit, it's $20. $20, dude. For 4 tubes of this. What the fuck? It's $5 per? And then you got to pay shipping and handling. What? They give you free shipping and handling. This is how they lure you in. The first 2 months, they give you free shipping and handling, right? Then next thing you know, it's going to be $20, and then it's going to cost $15 for shipping and handling when the product, quote unquote, blows up. It's going to be a bunch of 10 to 14-year-old kids begging their parents to buy this shit. And as always, parents with money will do it just to shut their kids up. 4 tubes is $20 goddamn dollars. Let's go. Look at the branding on all this. It's a little spookier. The lettering is a little ghostier than the original idea. But these guys basically ripped off this whole thing. And now finally, check this out. We get a clear picture of the product. That's crack. I don't care how you slice it. That's crack cocaine, my friend, as far as I'm concerned. And this is parents get worried about this. They don't want their kids to vape, right? And then what do they do? The next big product is going to be crack rocks for your breath. Let's give it up for the whole posse. Fucking Mike Malak, Logan Paul, fucking KSI, MGK, Eminem, whoever else is involved, Aiden Ross, the whole posse. I wish them all the best of luck. They're going to need it. I really hope that product ends up taking off. I really do. Because I'm obviously going to buy as much of it as I possibly can, possibly even invest stock in it when it goes public. Let's move on to the meat of today's episode. This is going to be the Nelk Boys interview with none other than Netanyahu. Excuse me while I have a smoke, you know what I mean? I like to, have a couple puffs before we get into the serious stuff, if you know what I mean.
Feel like summer in Ibiza, tastes like honey when I see ya. I can't help it, I'm obsessing. Oh my God, I wanna feel ya. Watermelon, sugar sweet, now we're sitting on the beach. I can't
Yes.
Oh my God, I wanna
It's not a bad song to go into this segment, right? Nice lighthearted song for a nice lighthearted interview with the world leader, possibly committing genocide, hanging out with the boys. None other than the Nelk Boys, They're going to take some fucking dabs. They might shotgun some beers over there, Yeah, they might talk shop. They might get fucked up. Who knows?
Look at me, you got me really good. Ready for our rendezvous. I can't keep my hands off you. All alone inside my room. Nothing that I wouldn't do for you. Oh, for you, oh, for you. Do you feel the way that I feel now? Don't set breeze, get closer to me now.
Ooh, okay. So, right off the rip, I already told you guys, these kids basically made a fool out of themselves. If you weren't here for the intro, I'll fill you in with the TLDR. They ended up doing this interview with Benjamin Netanyahu. The internet hates them for it. But it's not for the simple fact that they did it. The internet is hating on them for the simple fact that they are too retarded to be having this conversation. This Benjamin Netanyahu guy is going to use these two kids as a fucking fleshlight so that he can potentially get their young audience on his side as far as support for Israel and the dumbass shit that he's doing. This guy's been a fucking politician for 30 years. He knows how to play the game. These Nelk Boys, on the other hand, don't. And this is what everyone has a problem with. So, let's check this out. Right from the rip, it says, this podcast was filmed on July 8th, 2025. Any current events that occurred afterwards will obviously not be covered. This is like a disclaimer for them for what? For what? You guys weren't the ones to be having this conversation. So putting a disclaimer on something like this doesn't excuse it. They go, oh, sorry if we didn't cover all the most, hot button up-to-date shit. It was recorded on July 8th. Then they start recording the cameras. They go, yo, how many bodies you got, Benjamin Netanyahu? How many bitches you fucked back in your day? Is the puss as good in Israel as it is here in America, bro? Because the pussy in Miami's fire. That's so to even see any type of disclaimer on this thing is fucking stupid. It's just hilarious to me. So let's check this out.
This is fucking nuts.
This
dude.
is so crazy. We are so not qualified to do this.
No, this is.
That's what's interesting about this. We're just not. We just should not be doing this.
Well, we're too far too gone.
Here we have the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu.
I love that. They go, we should not be doing this, man. Like, we're so unqualified to be doing this, man. Like, it's so funny. What they're doing is, like, you ever been at a party with someone who's, like, too stoned or something? They start acting weird, but, like, to try to, like, you know, break the tension, they start going, yo, I'm so high right now. So, like, they're saying that so that everyone else can go, oh, there's an excuse for the way that this person's acting. They're high as shit. Can't you hear him saying it? Oh, he's high as hell. That's what they're doing. They go, we should not be doing this. We should not be doing that. They're trying to, like, come off as, like, self-aware. They go, we know we're idiots. Why are we even having this conversation, bro? Like, as if it's going to excuse the shit interview that's going to, you know, follow all of this talk. And then look at this shit. Yeah, Steiny coming in looking like he just got done with, like, a fucking 5-day coke bender. Look at the way he's licking his dry-ass goddamn lips. He's hitting that corner awfully hard, bro. Steiny is hitting that corner awfully hard. Eyes look like shit. Dude looks like he's been up for a couple days. Hair looks fucking insane. For a rich dude touring the White House, you need to look better than that. Guy doesn't even have a tie on. So they come with suits, and Steiny goes, nah, man, I'm going without a tie, man. Bitches love it when guys wear suits without ties, man. How am I going to get puss when I don't got a tie? And then look at Kyle. Watch this.
We just should not be doing this.
And then you have fucking Kyle over here. Good old granddaddy Nelk. Dude, this is like the main Nelk guy. When Steve Will Do It got banned off of YouTube, this is who they replaced Steve with, was Kyle. And Kyle comes in here. Look at the fucking collar on this guy's shit. The collar on this thing is so goddamn fucked up, bro. Nobody in the history of wearing suits takes the entire collar and pulls it completely out of where the lapel is on the suit jacket. Not one person ever has ever done that. Not on purpose, at least. You know what I mean? This guy's whole ass collar is completely outside of the suit. It's resting on top of the suit jacket, making him and his fucking weird neck look crazy, if you ask me. And then you pair that with this light pink purple dot polka dot fucking thing he's got going that he calls a tie, and we have a recipe for disaster. You got, look at his one stray hair coming out of the fade. This guy literally just got a fucking high and tight fade 5 minutes before the interview. The guy was rushing his ass off. He was rushing. He was fighting against Moscow. That's how Russian he was. Now listen to these two assholes.
Well, we're too far too gone.
Here we have the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. He's about to walk into the podcast right now. This is probably one of the most, if not the most controversial podcast we
for sure the most
have ever done.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe not the most controversial we'll ever do.
Maybe not. But maybe though.
I mean, this issue is just like, and by the way, I want to say too, I'm not claiming to be an expert on this issue or anything like that. I've kind of just probably like a lot of you guys that, you know, you read stuff online.
Kyle looks like a fucking turtle. I love this. He goes, I'm not claiming to be an expert on this issue, man. We're just here to ask him, like, how many keg stands he's done, if he, you know, what type of drugs he used to do in college, if he, like, fucks with Molly and stuff like that. Maybe see what kind of stuff he's got in his crypto wallet. You know, we like a dude who knows how to fucking really, really man the trenches, you know. Maybe we might ask him to take a couple zaps, you know what I mean? You never know what we're going to do over here at Nelk, you know? We're really just kind of, you know, pioneers in the space, you know? There's a bunch of like, legitimately, the only reason this Netanyahu guy is on here is so that he can skull fuck these boys and just walk all over them and just fucking not answer. He knows, he basically knows that these two are too retarded to ask him any type of pressing question. And if they did even ask him close to a pressing question, he would dance his way around it, and they would end up being so lost in what he said, they wouldn't even know how to fucking navigate back to asking him to follow up on it. And then on top of that, anything that he spits at them, they know so little about the conflict. Anything he spits at them, they like, what are they going to do? They have no other choice but to take it as truth. Or, okay, they can go, oh, we know he's crazy, so we take it with a grain of salt. So what, you're just going to let him lie to you for an hour? It's like, to me, I'm like, what was even the point of this interview? You should have had somebody on this motherfucker, bro. Like, and these two idiots, they just happen to be touring the White House. And Benjamin Netanyahu's team sees them and goes, don't these guys have like millions of followers? They go, hey, why don't you go and see if they like want to do an interview with us real quick? You know what I mean? We'll give these guys a bunch of canned ass questions and see if they'll want to do that.
And I feel like on the internet now too, it's like you don't even know what's real anymore. Like you read shit and it's like you see a headline and it's like, is this true? Is this not true? So I see so much stuff about, you know, what's going on in Israel and, you know, Iran and Palestine. And to be honest, I just really don't know what is going on there. So it's going to be interesting to sit down with Prime Minister Netanyahu and kind of just ask him some questions about what we read online and
get educated.
Probably going to be a lot of hate.
Look, he goes, get educated. Dude, you should have got educated before you did this interview. This is like legitimately an interview that you like have to prep for. You cannot come in here with zero prep with a guy like this, especially with all the news surrounding this guy. Think about it. This guy legitimately, everything surrounding this Netanyahu guy is like war criminal, killing babies. Women are dying, not letting fucking food go through to Gaza aid, fucking bombing hospital, bombing. It's like every single thing revolved around this guy is like death, destruction, and mayhem. And then here's the thing. I don't know a lot about it all, you know, and don't call me a conspiracy theorist, but you know, did you guys know that Israel can't hold elections for at least 5 months when they declare like a state of emergency, right? And then this Netanyahu guy was coming up on war crime charges, right? His own people were going to charge him. These are Israelis that were going to charge this guy with war crimes, right? And then October 7th happens. And then after October 7th happens, now Iran is this big threat. And all of a sudden, they got to start bombing people in Iran. And every single time one of these things happens, they declared a state of emergency. Now, these elections can't happen to vote this guy out. The country clearly wants to charge him with something. Criminal, you know what I mean? And something's not right. They want to give this guy criminal charges, right? So it's obvious that even people over there don't fuck with this guy. So it's almost like this guy wants to like perpetuate this war machine to keep himself in power, because as soon as all this stuff fizzles out, he's gonna get completely and utterly fucked. What the fuck? You know, so it's like when him and his team see a two fucking nice, ripe, tight young boys like the fucking Nelk Boys walking around the White House, they go, yo, we might be able to use these guys to maybe put some positive spin on all this shit that I'm doing over here in Israel. You know what I mean? If we can sway the public elections, if we can sway the public's feelings about me, a lot of times they tend to let bygones be bygones. You know, it's so obvious with this kind of shit. And watch, we're going to skip ahead a little bit. I just want to get to like this BB guy's fucking intro. It takes like 3 minutes for this fucking guy to get in here. And watch, as soon as he sits down, the first thing he starts doing is glazing Donald Trump for like 5 straight minutes. Doesn't even answer the first question that they ask.
And you can't really pass up. I don't see it. Like, there's no one else doing this.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'll sit down with any world leader in the world.
I agree.
I mean, my dream guest is Kim Jong-un.
Both
so
of
Kim
ours.
Jong-un, if you're watching this,
This is kind of
I'd like to come to North Korea and interview you.
All I could
as well.
think about is the interview when we're doing
I'm
it.
so down
that.
to pull up to Moscow and interview Putin too.
Look, and Kyle's collar just keeps getting worse. Somehow I skipped ahead like only 45 seconds, and somehow the collar just got worse. It's like a different shape now. It's on a different part of the collar than where it was before on his lapel. The whole thing is fucked.
Yeah, we'll do everybody.
This is what sets off podcasts. You could put a small microphone here, but no, you have to see this thing, right?
Yeah,
Look
Prime
at
Minister
this.
Netanyahu with us today. We're here in the Blair House.
Yep.
Right? Is this the White House grounds?
Close.
Close.
It's the sort of the official guest house of the United States.
How have you seen like the White House and stuff? Like, how has it evolved over the years?
Look, very simple question. How has the White House evolved over the years? I'm sure you've been here a lot, right? We've been providing a lot of aid to Israel over the years. Hey, another fun fact about Israel. Did you know they're the only foreign country to attack American military in any way, shape, or form, and we did not retaliate? Did you know that? So they go, hey, man, you've been in power for a long time, man. How have you seen the White House progress? I mean, you've had a lot of good relationships with a lot of presidents. Not really the JFK one. I know Israel weren't too cool with him. But, you've been around for a while. How has it progressed? And you answer a question like, oh, man, back in the 70s, it used to look like this. In the 80s, it used to look like that. 90s, it looked like this. And today, I mean, now there's iPads in the walls and shit. Like that's how you answer a question like that. Watch, he does none of that. He completely diverts away from the question altogether and just goes to glaze the fuck out of Donald Trump, who, mind you, just got done not releasing the Epstein files after a couple of nice visits from this guy. You know what I mean?
What were the times of you visiting it?
I've met quite a few of the American presidents because I've been in office pretty long time.
Look, actually, I want to hear the question, because when you listen to it seamlessly, that's when you get the full effect of it. Listen to him ask the question, and then how Netanyahu just completely doesn't answer it.
The official guest house of the United States.
How have you seen like the White House and stuff? Like, how has it evolved over the years, over the times of you visiting it?
I've met quite a few of the American presidents because I've been in office pretty long time. Not because we don't have elections, but because I've won quite a few of them, okay? I think there's never been a friend like Donald Trump in the White House for Israel. I think he's a remarkable leader. I think he's changing history. He said he'll make America great again. He's already done it.
That's not what he asked you. He asked you, how has the White House progressed over the years that you've seen it, being that you've been in power for so long?
America is widely admired now around the world, and especially after our joint operation against this regime that wanted to, chance death to America.
I didn't know Israel made that call. Israel now, they make the call of how widely appreciated America is across the world. Now that we helped you guys bomb a bunch of motherfuckers over in the Middle East, now all of a sudden everybody's cool with it. Everybody's like, yo, man, they bombed the fuck. Could you imagine that? You imagine over in China, the guy over there, what's his name? Jinping or some shit like that? He's like, yo, they just bombed Iran, bro. He's like, yo, I knew they were cool, bro. I knew those motherfuckers were gangster. They just got done bombing Iran. America. This is not, I love this shit. Look, he's going to keep glazing him, keep glazing Trump.
Death to Israel? Well, I think together we've shown the world a different face of America. Very powerful, very directed, very resolute.
You guys are very...
Look at how satisfied he is. This is the face of a man who's gotten everything that he's wanted. This is like the face of a guy who has like blackmail or something, bro. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I might have Kurt Metzger on here. I have Kurt Metzger's fucking phone number. I swear to fucking God I'll use it if I have to. Call me a conspiracy theorist, bro. They got something on us, man. Israel has to have something on it. Every time they're involved in something that we have to do. I'm not saying all Jews. I'm not saying that. I'm not, okay? Even though they run a lot of Hollywood, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. But in all seriousness, I'm not saying all Jews. I'm saying, like, Israel's got to have something on us, bro. Every single time that we try to do something involving Israel, some sort of coup, someone's head get fucking blown off. You know the JFK shit? JFK was trying to fucking register AIPAC, the American fucking Israel Political Association, whatever, the lobbying committee. He wanted them to register as a foreign fucking lobby, just like every other foreign lobby group has to do. He wanted to take away Israel's rights to nuclear arms. This JFK, right? What happens? Head blown clean the fuck off. This guy's wife's picking up pieces of this guy's brain off her goddamn skirt. Next thing you know, Epstein. Okay, this guy's had a couple ties to the Mossad. Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was a fucking high-ranked Mossad agent. Died in a mysterious way on a boat. What happens? They blow that Epstein case wide open. All of a sudden, the guy offs himself in weird circumstances. And now that the president, who ran on the fact that he's going to release all of these files, finally has the fucking power to do so. He wants to tell us all that there were no such thing as those files. They never existed. Bro, Epstein got arrested when Trump was in office. I've been wanting to say this for so long. Epstein got arrested when Trump was in office, bro. If anyone was gonna know the little behind the scenes anything, hearing weird stuff, if there were files or not, if there were fucking flight records, if there were tapes, if there were that, it would be Trump. The whole thing happened under him. Now all of a sudden he runs on this and goes, oh wait, there never were any. So did you lie to us in the first term? What happened? What happened, bro? I thought we were going to make America great again, bro. You can't make America great until you release the fucking Epstein files, bro. I'm telling you. And I bring all that up because I'm telling you, this guy comes visiting the White House. All of a sudden, the Epstein files disappear. What happened? I don't know. I'm telling you, I think this guy's got something on us. The way he's glazing Trump like this, all of a sudden, Trump's like, we're never giving foreign aid to anyone ever again. And then Netanyahu comes and visits the White House. I'm so stoned. Netanyahu comes and visits the White House. He goes, $14 billion to Israel. They can have it all. Now watch this. This next time code. Fucking. Just listen to the questions these guys ask. I told you. None of these questions were going to be hard hitting. They were going to ask this guy like frat boy style questions, and they do.
Do you have any type of relationship with Kim Jong-un?
No.
Okay.
Nothing?
No.
Just interesting.
No, the answer is no.
I think you definitely have a tough job.
Look at see how Netanyahu fucking slammed his nuts on fucking Kyle's forehead like that? No. The answer's no. No. Never knew Kim Jong-un. No. Now look at Steiny's face, bro. Steiny has been on so much crack cocaine. The last 2 nights, it's not even fucking funny. Now listen to this. Steiny, this one I'll give Steiny a little bit of credit for. This was actually kind of like a little bit of a ballsy question, but this is the thing. Steiny has nothing to back this kind of question up. Now wait until you hear it.
But why do you think you're like so hated worldwide?
Well, a lot of propaganda. First of all, I'm not hated worldwide. I just received this. I just talked to someone, a rabbi, and he says he just heard from his brother, who was in Europe. Okay.
Look at Netanyahu working the fuck out of that goddamn camera. He's doing like a Mr. Beast right now. He's not even talking to those two. He's legitimately talking to their audience. This is what he's doing. He basically has his hands so far up these two's asses right now. Might as well be moving their mouths for him. Finally, Steiny asked a ballsy question. Why do you think everybody in the world hates you right now? Why do you think you're the most hated man in the world right now? Why do you think that is? He goes, well, I'm not. Oh, well, actually, it's a lot of propaganda, but I'm actually not, right? Any other person who knew even a smidge about this conflict would go, well, actually, these people are reporting on you doing this. These people are reporting on you doing this. This country's calling you a war criminal. We have the New York Times is reporting on all this different stuff happening in Gaza. You're preventing aid. But I'm making the same points over and over again. These guys don't know any of that. I barely know any of that. I'm not claiming to be an expert myself either. I'm not saying that I would not interview this guy. I would not make an ass out of myself like this. Or maybe I would. I don't know. Anything for a little bit of clout. You feel me? So he's just working this whole fucking thing.
And one of the countries of Europe. And he says that he's being flooded, They know he's from Israel. All the people are coming and they say, you did this amazing thing for all of us, okay? The Chancellor of Germany said Israel did the work for all of us, the new Chancellor of Germany, okay? I hear, they had the G7. The president told me they were all going crazy. I mean, in a positive way.
How did we get on the G7? He asked you about why you were the most hated man in the world. How did we get talking about Donald Trump's fucking gifted G7 from Saudi Arabia? Let's keep it on you, all right? You know what I mean? Like, we're focused on you right now. Don't start getting on us about getting gifts, and our shady shit. You know, we don't need that right now. Now look at this. This is so fucking funny to me. Again, that right there was the only even close to journalistic style question that you're going to get for the rest of this interview. The rest of it was total dog shit. This next question, they get to asking this boy about what his favorite fast food hamburger is. Listen to this.
What's one thing you and President Trump have in common? Like something like specific, like a hobby or like something you both like, or like a food?
Hamburgers.
McDonald's?
Hamburgers. So, yeah, so President Trump comes to Israel. It's a great visit. Wonderful visit. Okay. And then we have dinner. Okay.
Look at how he looks into the camera every time, bro. Quit fucking looking at me. He reminds me of like a painting that's like on the wall, and no matter where you move around in the room, the eyes are just following you around all the time. It's like, bro, you're not talking to us, bro. You're talking to them. Stop. It's fucking seriously creeping me out. Imagine if I did the whole show like that. I stared like this the whole time while the clips were playing and shit. I'm just sitting here.
McDonald's?
Staring into the camera like this
so
at you.
President Trump comes to Israel. It's great.
And just doing this whole thing like this, the entire show, that's crazy. Like, it's so obvious this guy has an agenda. I sound like a lib right now. I sound like a real fucking cucked out lib right now, you know? And I'm cool with it. I'm cool. Anything for the people of Gaza. Anything for the people of Gaza. Now wait until you hear this crazy ass one-liner come out of Steiny's fucking mouth.
Great visit. Wonderful visit. Okay. And then we have dinner. Okay. And we bring this chef, you know, he's like a very good chef. And he gives a 7-course dinner. Telling you, 7 courses. And it's the longest dinner I've ever had. And, you know, in this fancy plate, and this fancy plate, and this fancy plate. And finally he brings up this dressed up hamburger. And I look at Trump and he looks at me. Finally we had what we wanted. We got the hamburger, you know. So, yeah, I was...
See how good of a politician this guy is? He tells this heartwarming story about how him and Trump had a 7-course meal. And all the fancy shit they didn't care for. They were just there for the hamburger, bro. You know? I'm just there for the hamburger. So this guy, apparently, he's like that dude from Popeye. Him and Trump. They'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. And this is such like he's such a good politician. He tells this heartwarming story. I started smiling. Like, I don't know. If you pay attention to the recording, go back a couple frames. You'll see I was smirking. This guy's talking about this goddamn hamburger. And look at the way he's looking up in the sky as if to give you the impression that he's like trying to remember this nostalgic, you know, memory that he had with our oh so great president, right? Our little orange daddy, you know? This guy, and then the blue tie. Wrap it all up with the blue tie, my friend. You guys know tie, like they talk about this on H3. They say blue is like it's like a tie for like forgiveness or like you want to be like relatable or something, right? This guy knows what he's doing, bro. This guy knows exactly what he's doing. So he gets done telling this story, heartfelt story about this hamburger, and now Steiny's about to deliver the hottest one-liner of 2025.
I was a junk food junkie for many years. Sarah and I would come. We didn't have, you remember, Israel was semi-socialist, so we didn't even have a McDonald's or a Burger King, okay? And we'd land on an occasional visit to New York. You know what the first thing we did? McDonald's. And to be honest, Burger King. I like Burger King more.
What's your go-to at McDonald's?
No, I'll tell you, Burger King. We did the double,
Whopper?
The double.
I haven't ripped Burger King in a long time.
Look, I haven't ripped Burger King in a long time, bro. That's the shit. Like you talking like that in front of the world leader? I haven't ripped Burger King in a long time, bro. I think the last time I ripped Burger King was when I got chlamydia down in fucking Tijuana, bro, when I was fucking that whore. You guys remember, right? You guys remember Steve Will Do It was like sucking golf balls out of her pussy? You guys don't remember that? Oh yeah, you guys are pretty blacked out. It's like they pulled like a fucking White Lotus, Kyle and Steiny. Got so drunk in Tijuana, they ended up jerking each other off. They ended up jerking each other off and shit in Tijuana. And that was the last time they ripped Burger King. When they woke up all hungover after that night, the only way to cure that hangover is a couple double Whoppers. You know, Benjamin Netanyahu, he goes, I did the double, the double whopper. Is there even a such thing as a double whopper? I don't know.
And to be honest, Burger King, I like Burger King more.
What's your go-to at McDonald's?
No, I'll tell you, Burger King. We did the double,
Whopper?
What's your go-to at McDonald's? Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Jesus Christ, man. This is like a scene out of Idiocracy, bro. This would be like if you interviewed Hitler and you were like, what's your favorite candy bar, dude? I know you like to do all that shit over there, but like, now that we're here, well, what's your favorite candy bar? You like a whatchamacallit? You a Twix guy? You like Twix? You like the left one or the right one? It's like, what are you talking about?
I haven't ripped Burger King in a long time.
Burger King kind of sucks.
Yeah.
No,
the
you're wrong.
BK Lounge can hit.
I disagree completely.
You like Burger King over McDonald's?
That's your worst take, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's your worst take, I think, Steiny says. That's your worst take, bro. Bro, this guy is literally killing so many fucking women and children. Steiny's like, bro, BK is where I draw the fucking line, bro. He looks over at Kyle. He's like, bro, you hear this guy, bro? This guy, like, sucks ass, man. He likes fucking BK, bro. He's like, what a fucking bitch. Benjamin Netanyahu's, like, throwing babies into a fucking furnace. Steiny's standing there like, bro, this guy is actually kind of fucking lit, bro. It's like, the guy says one thing about fucking BK being better than McDonald's. Steiny's like, whoa, dude. He goes, what, are you fucking crazy? Like, when people say that's your worst take, like, that's like, you're saying the most controversial, like, against the grain thing. It's like if somebody went up and was like, I don't think Beyonce is hot, which I actually don't. I legitimately think Beyonce is, like, so fucking ugly to me. Ever since that one picture of her doing that fucking dance where she's like, and, like, they caught her with the motion of, like, all of her fat hitting, like, this sonic boom at the same time, I can never get that image out of my fucking head. So it's just, I never thought Beyonce was hot from that moment forward. That would be like if I say that to somebody, they go, that's your worst take, bro. Everybody fucking loves Beyonce. That's when you say that. You don't say that to a fucking world leader who may or may not be, like, killing an entire race of people, who may or may not be legitimately blocking aid to those people who are basically imprisoned by his people. It's like, so this is, and I'm not, look, I don't want you guys to take this as me, like, defending Gaza or defending Israel. And if it was up to me, I'd say Trump hits the fucking big red button, nukes Israel and fucking Palestine and Iran and all those Middle Eastern guys. And every single fucking one of us can live easy knowing that these fucking guys aren't trying to blow each other the fuck up all the goddamn time. Right? Doesn't that sound like if I had, like, an itch on my body, right? I wouldn't start building fucking, like, lotion patches around it and stuff in the hopes that the itch would sort itself out. I would fucking take care of the itch and the rest of my body would thank me for it, right? Is that a good analogy? You don't think so? I mean, if it was, like, hey, if you really want to make it easy, nuke both of them. Nuke both sides, get rid of the whole conflict as far as I'm concerned. I could give a fuck, all right? What I'm saying here is, like, the optics are bad for these Nelk boys, and asking dumbass questions like, what's your favorite fucking order at McDonald's? And then saying that you liking Burger King over McDonald's is your worst take. Worse than any fucking type of genocide-y type thing that you've done in the past X amount of years.
That's a crazy take.
No, that was fine. I mean, I like
that's
Burger
a crazy. That's blowing Steiny's mind. Aaron Steinberg is literally a changed man after hearing this. He goes, I cannot believe the Prime Minister of Israel's fucking take is that he likes Burger King over McDonald's. Whew. He's legit. He's, like, losing his mind over this.
Donald?
That's your worst take, I think.
Absolutely.
That's a crazy take.
No, that was fine. I mean, I like Burger King. The answer is yes. And we'd go and have Burger King. And guess what happened? So I opened up the Israeli economy, right? And what do you think?
He goes, me and my wife, we had Burger King, and guess what happened? And Kyle and Steiny look up at him like he's like a fucking, like an angel. They go, what happened, Mr. Netanyahu? He goes, then I bombed a hospital, you know. Then I took a family in Gaza that was, you know, a husband, a wife, and 3 daughters, and I gassed them to death, you know. He goes, me and my wife, we came to America. We had the double whopper, right? And then guess what we did after that? I got on the phone and I called in an airstrike to Iran. He goes, that's what we did. We called in an airstrike to Iran. I blackmailed Donald Trump and told him not to release the Epstein files. And if he did, then we would have to, you know, really fuck his shit up with all the stuff that we have on him. That's what I ended up doing. This guy sounds like Matan Evan almost. If Matan Evan had a deep voice, he would sound like this guy. This is insanity. That's your worst take. I can't believe it. Worse than all the stuff he's ever done. I know I'm just repeating myself, but it really is insane to say that. That's your worst take. And this is why everybody's hating on these fucking guys so much. It's like insanity, the type of shit that the world is capable of producing. Just when you think the timeline is going to like slow down a little bit, you get thrown like another curveball. It's like all the stuff happening in the world and you go, oh, all right, at least I can get away from all of that, you know, and kind of just zone out in my own little podcast world. I could turn on the Nelk Boys, you know, and kind of live easy, just listen to these guys talk about banging sluts and getting, you know, nice bags on crypto. And now they're doing Netanyahu interviews. It's like, what is this world coming to, man? You know, but here's the funny part. Every single person that these guys surround themselves with, these Nelk Boys, every single one of them had shit to talk about them doing this interview. Like, these Nelk Boys, they're cool with, like, Myran Gaines from Fresh and Fit. They're cool with, like, Nick Fuentes, who's, like, a like, this, like, openly racist guy, which I you know, I have no problem with. You want to be racist? Like, I mean, I'm racist against Puerto Ricans. I am a Puerto Rican. I'm a self-hating Puerto Rican. See, you know, we're all a little bit racist. So, I mean, I don't know Nick Fuentes. He might be a cool guy. These Nelk Boys, they surround themselves with that. They end up having Hasan Piker on a stream to try to talk them off a cliff because they got legitimately the hour that they posted this interview, they got so much hate online. They immediately had to do a stream to try to talk themselves off of a cliff and try to explain to their fans, like, guys, we know we're retarded. Like, we know we're stupid. We just wanted to do it anyway. Like, what? You guys would have done it too. So, like, watch. I want to show you guys this. They're having, like, Myran. Well, they're not having Myran on yet. Myran is watching their stream on his, right? This Myran Gaines guy is such a fucking cuck. Myran's watching the Nelk Boy stream. He's watching them have this, like, talk with Nick Fuentes afterwards. Nick is going to sit here and basically, you know, try to bash the Jews in any way he possibly can. And while he's doing that, Kyle, you know, Mr. Nelky Nelk, the one with the collar, he's going to try to defend the Jews. He's going to try to defend the Jews against what Nick is saying, right? Only thing is, Kyle's such a fucking idiot that in his defense, he ends up just talking shit about Jews himself.
Reality is, we all know, Jewish people are an extraordinarily privileged group in America. They're one of the richest demographics, the most influential, the most educated, and you know, people will say this is an anti-Semitic trope.
I crack a brewski to that, Nick Fuentes. We talking about Jews? Now, this guy, I'm fucking around, but Nick Fuentes is fucking crazy, brother. He's like, the Jews are crazy, and the Jews in the Hollywood, the Jews. And then Kyle's defense of this is even funnier.
They're one of the richest demographics, the most influential, the most educated, and you know, people will say this is an anti-Semitic trope, but all you have to do is when you look at ownership of the powerful elite institutions, whether it's finance, whether it's media, academia, these are just the facts. They're overrepresented to an extraordinary degree. And so you have this contrast where on the one hand, we're supposed to see them as victims. They're always talking about anti-Semitism. They're always living in fear. They can't trust anybody. At the same time, they're the biggest donor.
Yo, Myran Gaines, dude, seriously. Not even trying. I think he's black. But, like, excuse me. He legitimately, Myran Gaines looks like somebody who's doing blackface. Like, I know he's probably a somewhat half black man. He legitimately looks like someone he put blackface on and is trying to do this stream. Like, every single time I see Myran Gaines, I go, canceled, canceled. We have to cancel him right now. Look at him. He has shoe polish all over. He has shoe polish all over his body. Myran Gaines always looks like he is a white guy doing blackface everywhere he goes.
To both major political parties. They run the biggest talent agencies in Hollywood. It happened to my friend, Ye.
Fresh and
Ye
fit.
Guys, I'm going to read chats here in a little bit.
invented cancel culture, the ADL, and Ari Emanuel.
Bro, it is so fucking hot in my I'm sweating so bad in my studio right now. You guys have no idea. If I was Myran Gaines, you'd see all the shoe polish dripping down the side of my face, dude. Like, if Myran Gaines was in my studio right now, you would see he's wearing shoe polish. He's in blackface.
Two extraordinarily powerful people, Jonathan Greenblatt at the ADL and Ari Emanuel, who runs one of the biggest talent agencies, they made it their mission to cancel his Adidas deal, his Gap deal, his $5 billion net worth evaporated overnight. And that was largely through their influence. And so it's sort of funny. On the one hand, they were saying, Ye, Kanye West, artist formerly known as, is creating anti-Semitism. We live in fear. This is another Holocaust. At the same time, they had so much power that they got him canceled. They got him banned on Instagram. They got his money frozen. They got his deals canceled. He couldn't get a lawyer. I was sitting with him in a hotel room.
Look at Kyle. Look at Kyle. Look, we go back a couple frames. Look at Kyle. He's gearing up. He's listening to Nick Fuentes sit here and talk about how the Jews run Hollywood. They run all the major institutions. So much so, Nick Fuentes, who's an openly racist white man, his own fucking best friend, Kanye West, who's an openly racist black man. Kanye's whole life was being ruined by the Jews, man. Kanye couldn't even get a goddamn lawyer. Couldn't even get a fucking lawyer, dude. And now Kyle's sitting back listening to this. He's had enough. Kyle's had enough, dude. Look at Kyle's face. He's like, bro, I'm not going to sit back, bro, and just take zaps and fucking shots and listen to you just fucking bash the Jews, bro. Because I got friends who are Jewish, man. I got fucking Jewish employees, dude. Look at how geared up he is. Watch, Kyle's about to try to defend he's going to try to defend Jewish people against all these points Nick's making. The Jews running Hollywood. The Jews running major institutions. The Jews trying to ruin Kanye's West after he just said Heil Hitler a couple goddamn times. It's like, let it go, Jews. You know what I mean? Kyle's getting ramped up.
Wait, who's this?
December
Sorry.
2022.
Oh, Kanye.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, Kanye. Sorry, I was just clarifying.
Yeah, yay. I was sitting with him in a hotel room in 2022. This is one of the biggest recording artists, biggest fashion designers, biggest artists of all time. And he could not find one lawyer, a single lawyer, who would try to get his $500 million that Adidas had frozen in his bank account back.
Yeah.
Think about that. This is somebody who you would think has...
But, so Nick, this is for...
Look at Steiny. He goes, what do you mean, no Christian lawyer? Because Steiny knows all lawyers are Jewish, you know? Like, lawyers are like cats and dogs. You know how, like, if you guys don't know this already, and most people know this, but just in case you guys don't know this, all cats are girls and all dogs are boys. I don't know why it's like that. It's weird how nature does that. But, like, every cat that you see, they're all girls. And then every dog you see, they're all boys. It's insanely weird. It's like the only species that are like that. And that's the kind of the point that Steiny's making right here about lawyers. All lawyers are Jewish. Like, a lot of people, it's like a weird misconception that people have. They think like lawyers come from like all different religions and all different sects and stuff like that. But it's actually something like in the bar like association that like you have to be Jewish to be a licensed practicing lawyer in America. So the same way that all cats are girls and all dogs are boys is the same way that all lawyers are Jewish. So when he was like, oh, you know, Kanye West couldn't even get a lawyer. Steiny was like, what do you mean, like a Christian lawyer? Do those even exist? He's like, of course he couldn't get a lawyer. All lawyers are Jewish.
To get his $500 million that Adidas had frozen in his bank account back.
Yeah.
Think about that. This is somebody
What do you mean,
who
no
you would think
Christian
has...
lawyer?
But so Nick, this is for me where I'm kind of on the outside too with this like argument is like, because for me when I see Ye, he just says fuck Jewish people. He doesn't say like, I've seen him say
he
that.
has a song,
He's never
Hail
said
Hitler.
that.
But he's, a
But
song titled-
he's never said, and I know him. He
But
has
how about
Jewish
Hail?
employees.
How about saying Hail Hitler?
He has a whole song like that. So that's where it's hard
But
to
no,
differentiate.
but
Because like
look,
I agree with
the
you.
words-
There's rich Jews. There's a lot of rich Jews in Hollywood, but like
Ooh, look, Kyle. Now Kyle's about to make his point. He goes, bro, like, I got fucking Jewish people too in my life, man. And, like, I hear you, bro. Like, I know the point you're saying. There's rich Jews, but, like, what about the regular fucking Jews too, man? Like, not all Jews are fucking in this, like, high-ranking society, and they're all rich, and they all have Jew gold around their neck, like they say in South Park.
Oh, but
because like I agree with
the
you.
words-
There's rich Jews. There's a lot of rich Jews in Hollywood, but like one of our guy that does our clips is like, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a Jewish guy too. He's our friend. He shares a fucking 2-bedroom apartment in New York. You know, he's lucky to pull a 7 on a good night at the bar. He's not wealthy by any means.
He's lucky to pull a 7 at the bar. If he's fucking lucky, he could pull a 7 at the bar because he's a fucking stupid, slobby fucking Jew. I love that. This is like the funniest thing to me. He's trying to defend against Nick Fuentes' point, which you boil down Nick's point, he's basically saying all Jews got it good, man. They all seem to be in this like conspiratorial class where they're all running the most important shit in the world, right? And Kyle's trying to make the point, not all of them. It's not all of them. You're generalizing, which is a good point on Steiny's end, right? Or Kyle's end. He goes, not all of them. You're generalizing. That's not cool, bro. But instead of saying it that way, like, look, I said it in the same way that a frat boy would say it. That's not cool, dude. You're generalizing, broski. And, like, when you generalize like that, it's, like, real dangerous talk, bro. It's almost like hate speech, my dude. You know, that's frat boy-like. You can be a fag and a frat boy at the same time. So, like, he's trying to make this point, but he does it in the worst way. He goes, well, my buddy's Jewish. He's actually an employee of ours. He does our clips here. We pay him like shit. He lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with another guy who's not Jewish. They can barely stand each other. He's lucky if he can even pull a 7 at the bar. This guy is lucky if he can pull any puss at all, bro. He's fucking ugly. He's got acne. He's got Jew curls. It's like he's trying to defend this point by just talking so much shit about his Jewish employee / friend.
Him.
But how about saying Hail Hitler?
He has a whole song like that. So that's where it's hard
But
to
no,
differentiate.
Because like I agree with you.
words-
There's rich Jews. There's a lot of rich Jews in Hollywood, but like one of our guy that does our clips is like, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a Jewish guy too. He's our friend. He shares a fucking 2-bedroom apartment in New York. You know, he's lucky to pull a 7 on a good night at the bar. He's not wealthy by any means. He's just, you know, an average Jew. So like when they like, I know the rich Jews are different, and you know they're probably part of some of the elite. But how about the other Jewish people? Like I feel like just from the outside, I see like a lot of just like general hate. Would you agree or not?
See, look, that was almost a good point to make. Again, the sentiment was good there, Kyle. The sentiment was very good. I could understand. I could read between the lines. You know, I don't know if everyone else can. It's so fucking funny. And watch this. Look. So then right after they have Nick Fuentes on, they have Hasan Piker on, right? And Hasan just starts fucking talking down to these Hasan is the most condescending prick in this whole thing. He's like, you guys are fucking geniuses, bro. Who set this up? Like, you guys are fucking retarded, blah, blah, blah. So Myran, over here in the corner, Mr. Fresh and Fit, Mr. fucking Blackface over here, he seems to think that he's got it in so good with the Nelk Boys, right? He goes, you know, man, fuck this interview, bro. Hasan Piker's a fucking bitch, bro. I'm going to call Steiny right now. I'm going to interrupt the interview. I'm going to tell Steiny to kick Hasan off and have me on. Steiny fucking ices him twice. Steiny doesn't answer the phone for Myran at all. Watch this.
Capable of like weaving through a couple softballs that you thought were hard-hitting questions that he has probably addressed a million times over is silly. Let me make no mistake.
I agree with you on that.
So my question to you is, why do you think he wanted to come on the Nelk Boys podcast?
Of course he wanted to. Of course he wanted to come on to try to win over the young audience.
Yo, Hasan fucking sucks, dude. Fuck. No wonder. Yo, like I always wonder, like, why does Hasan do that many interviews? Now I see why, bro. This guy's insufferable, man.
Off-ball questions, if you say that, it doesn't necessarily equate.
Myran, you're wearing blackface, bro.
To a positive outcome for the guest.
Like, dude, fucking educate them on something. Like, what the fuck?
That's always a positive thing.
Don't fucking talk down to them, man. Holy shit, Hasan is insufferable, bro. Wow.
Yo, the funniest part about this is Myran Gaines' whole career has been built off of him and the other fucking Mr. Fit. He's fresh. The other guy is fit, right? Or whatever. Their whole careers have been built off of them inviting OnlyFans girls on their show and just talking down to them. Not educating them at all. They basically will have they do just like the Whatever podcast. They'll have 8 OnlyFans girls on and they'll be like, so you guys are like fucking whores, right? And you're like pieces of shit. Like guys will never want to wife you up and you just suck dicks all day. Like that's what you do. And then the girls try to defend themselves. They go, well, here's why you shouldn't talk because women really are just objects that should be, within the realms of the home. We don't really need women out here in the world making their points. So just allow us to basically just call you whores and stupid bitches for the next 45 minutes and you could just sit there and swallow it. We'll give you your paychecks and then you could be on your way. We'll do it again next week, rinse and repeat the whole situation. This is basically the whole thing with Fresh and Fit, right? And now he's sitting there going, don't talk down to them. Educate them. He's insufferable.
Down to them, man. Holy shit, Hasan is insufferable, bro. Wow.
You guys are having a conversation with him, and he starts, and you're like, why are you?
We can't speak to Hitler. I think we should speak. I think we should speak to someone. I think we should speak to people.
Dude.
The reason why we're using this analog is because
I don't think that's a fair comparison.
Bro,
the reason why
I'm gonna call Steiny, bro.
Fair comparison.
I'm gonna call Steiny.
He's dead. It's not realistic.
Pay attention to Steiny over here.
We can talk about. Okay.
Look, this is happening live.
Speak to anyone alive. Speak to anyone alive.
Hold on, chat.
Look, it's happening live, bro. Myron's on his stream watching their stream. Look, Steiny fucking bitch buttons him, bro. Look at this. Boop.
The mailbox is full. Cannot accept.
I'm gonna call him.
Boop. What the fuck? Steiny hit him with the bitch button, bro. And look at Steiny. Steiny over here looking at his phone. He goes, fuck, man. Myron's calling, bro. We can't have Myron on the stream right now. Because with Hasan on, they probably legitimately have 50,000 people watching right now. If they toss Hasan off and throw Myron in that bitch, they're losing at least 30K right off the fucking rip as soon as Hasan leaves that shit. Of course he's going to bitch button you. Watch, Myron's going to try to do it again. He goes, I'm going to call him back one more time. Look at Myron's face. Look at Myron's face. He's shocked. He's got his mouth open. He's shocked. He's flabbergasted. Steiny won't answer the phone for him. Watch this bitch button one more time. Boop.
The mailbox is full. Cannot accept.
I'm gonna call him again.
I'm gonna call him again, he says. He didn't get the hint. You're watching him bitch button you. Live. In real time, Myron's watching Steiny bitch button him. In real time, he's gonna try to call him again. Hello? Steiny. Fresh and Fit's on the phone. Hello? Steiny.
He doesn't want to interrupt Hasan's fucking rant.
Look, of course he doesn't want to answer the phone for you. He doesn't care. He's getting bitched out by Hasan. He's looking for any excuse he could possibly get to end this conversation with Hasan. You're just not important enough to end the conversation with Hasan for. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's give it up for good old Fresh and Fit, trying to make his impression. We're gonna jump over to the actual Hasan interview with Nelk because they had a couple funny time codes on that one too, and we'll just end it on that. Well, actually, we won't because I have to show you something with good old Ethan Klein over here. But look, this pretty much right here just sums up the whole entire thing with Nelk. I really thought these guys were really not self-aware when it came to this interview, they were self-aware. And I really would respect them so much more if they would lean into the interview, like I said in the beginning. Like, everyone else has a problem with it. Fuck them. Who cares, bro? You got the shit off. You interviewed the guy. Move on. So what if you cause, like, some sort of, like, positive type of, movement for Israel in any way, shape, or form coming to, the generations underneath us? It doesn't matter. It's like, let it happen, bro. We're all going to be dead anyway. Like I said, I mean, we might get lucky. Trump might bust out the big red button. They pass that big, beautiful bill. Trump's like, it's time to hit the big red button. He might blow all of them up, just like I said. Get rid of the whole entire conflict as it is. Why not? I mean, start over again. Level the shit, and then you could do that Trump, Gaza, #1. You know what I mean? But let's listen to... I want you guys to listen to Kyle. Really, he really sees himself in this next time code. And it's like he almost has this like epiphany while getting bitched out by Hasan. And he goes, you know what, Hasan? You're fucking right, man. You're fucking right. We are fucking retarded.
My point is, would you be neutral with Bin Laden in the same way that you're like a neutral podcast?
I think we would. Yeah, we would do our best to ask him tough questions.
Okay. All right.
I think
what
there's
about
a sense
ISIS?
of understanding too, right? Well,
What
it's not. I
about
think
what
there's-
about Adolf Hitler?
I think we'd always kind of play the neutral role.
You would play a neutral role interviewing Adolf Hitler. I don't think that's the case. I think you're just saying that right now because you want to.
We're just not the best at grilling guests and pushing back on them, to be honest. Like I said, we're not
I
claiming
think-
to be good
I
journalists.
think if
Like
you-
we can ask a question.
Look, now you hear Kyle's voice is starting to get ramped up a little bit. Kyle's like starting to like really raise. He's like, man, and he starts going to talk over Hasan because I'm telling you right now, I watched this whole thing. Hasan like just continued to try to bitch them out the entire time. The fact that they even stayed on with Hasan for a full hour was like shocking to me. I was like, dude, this guy is seriously just making an ass out of you two. He was calling them stupid. He was being condescending to them. He's like, oh, the Nelk Boys over here, geniuses of our time, got to interview Benjamin Netanyahu. Like right there, I would have been like, yo, bitch, what the fuck? Like, you want to square up, bro? Like, they both live in LA. I would have been like, let's meet up. Hasan Piker's like 6'5", weighs like 230 pounds. He would have fucked the Nelk Boys up, dude. That's the funniest part about it. I don't know. Maybe Hasan's a pussy, but optics, you know what I mean? Visually, you see it. You think like Hasan's like Thor compared to these two fucking nerds. So watch this. I want you guys to take relish in this moment of clarity that Kyle has with me.
But when it comes to like a follow-up question, I'll be honest, we're not the most like I've never claimed to be super educated on this.
Hasan, you haven't even watched the podcast.
I haven't. I haven't had time. I don't know. I don't know what kind of
I'm
questions you
just
guys
letting you know
ask, but I assume.
The first few minutes is us sitting there like, yo, we are not qualified to do this. This is insane. We acknowledge the fact that, yeah, you're right. We're not the best journalists. We're not the most fit to do this. But the fact that we had an opportunity to interview a world leader, two guys like us, we're going to jump on that just as I know you would. So
Yeah, but the difference is the difference is like if there was a situation where I felt like I was ill-equipped for the task, I would just not do it. You know what I mean?
I didn't say
would-
we're ill-equipped, but I said there's people probably more fit.
I mean, this is a unique opportunity. You have an unprecedented
the
opportunity.
Full Send podcast is. I'll be honest. No. Let's be honest. The Full Send podcast.
Ooh, now stop. Look, now Kyle's like, fucking gloves off, bro. He's like sick of this. He's like, bro, I'm sick of fucking like the way you're talking to us, bro. Like, I was the fucking head of my fraternity, dude. Like, when Steve Will Do It was on YouTube, we were fucking #1, bro. Like,
you know what I mean?
I didn't say we're ill-equipped, but I said there's people probably more fit.
I mean, this is a unique opportunity. You have an unprecedented
The Full
opportunity.
Send podcast is. I'll be honest. No. Let's be honest. The Full Send podcast is never going to be the best line of questioning. Like, I'll be honest. That's the honest truth. Let's be real here. That's exactly, and that's why they choose us, and that's why the show is what it is, because we're kind of dumb and we're not the best. We're not.
Let me ask you guys this: Is there a person?
The Full Send podcast is what it is.
Is there a person that you guys would?
That's why the Full Send podcast. It's like he's like, bro. That's exactly why a guy like Benjamin Netanyahu would choose a podcast like us, because he knows that we're fucking retarded. He knows we're not going to ask him a bunch of fucking hard-hitting questions, and whatever answers he gives us, you know, we're kind of just going to have to, like, take that cum shot on the chin because, like, we really have no other choice but to, like, just take his word for it, I guess, man. Like, we're idiots, bro. Like, I love that. I love that for the Nelk Boys. I really do. And we're going to end it on this one right here. This is probably the worst fallout of the whole Netanyahu interview. We're legitimately going to end it on this last time code right here. This is Ethan Klein. He caught wind of this interview, right? Pissed him off. Pissed him right off. And remember, him and Steiny and Steve will do it. And the Nelk Boys, they've been getting real fucking chummy lately. You remember I covered it not long ago. Steve, you guys saw that? I'm trying to catch this fucking fruit fly flying around my goddamn shit. But we covered it like a while back. It was Steve will do it gifting Ethan Klein and his wife like Rolexes and shit, trying to get in their good graces and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden, Ethan and the Nelk Boys are best friends. Not anymore. Not anymore. They do this interview with Benjamin Netanyahu. Ethan's like, bro, you're fucking stupid, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm fucking Ethan Klein, host of the A3 show. And then fucking now all of a sudden he doesn't want to be friends with Steiny at all over this interview. And it's not even just the fact of the interview. It's the fact that he also ended up talking with Nick Fuentes, Hasan Piker, Fresh and Fit Boy. Fucking like all these people. Ethan's like, whoa, bro, these guys are all like my enemies, bro. What are you doing?
I had a falling out with Steiny. We've been arguing, and I'm pretty sure.
Dan, chill.
I'm so disappointed, you know. And we're still arguing. He's just texted me, "Be a brother," one time.
One time, bro.
He's making an appeal to like that, like, bro, come on, we're friends, man. Come on, how can you do this to me? But the truth is that
Leaving my friendships behind.
I knew about this interview ahead of.
Leaving my friendships behind. That was actually pretty good.
Leaving my friendships.
I want to hear that again.
But the truth is that
leaving my friendships behind.
I knew about this interview ahead of time. I warned him ahead of time. Don't do it. If you do it, you need to be prepared.
I'm warning you.
They obviously completely failed to have a meaningful conversation with him. But the part that I didn't expect was that after Netanyahu interview was over, they would bring on credible, contrasting opinions from Myran, Nick Fuentes, Hasan Piker, and Sneako. As soon as the Netanyahu interview ends, Myran calls in, and they go, "What's the problem?" And Myron goes, "Hey guys, I'm just going to put it to you really simply. The Jews," he doesn't say Israeli or Zionist, he says, "the Jews run the American government and they did 9/11. They are not our friends." What does Steiny do? He does this.
Good old Steiny, give it up, dude. Steiny did sit there. Steiny sat there stone fucking face. Every single, Nick Fuentes, you guys heard it. I just played a clip. Nick Fuentes for like a half an hour was like, "This is why Jews are the worst people ever." Steiny sat there like, just like Ethan said, he goes, "Yeah, I actually kind of agree with you on that." He's like, Steiny sat there like a bitch, bro. Like, I'm Puerto Rican, right? I mean, how many times do I say that? It is. I am who I am, right? If somebody was just trashing my shit like that, they go, "Puerto Ricans are fucking slimy, bro. Like, Puerto Ricans are the worst, bro. They're dirty. They're running this. They're running that." And meanwhile, my people are over there struggling. I'd have something to say about it. You know, I'd at least be like, "Yo, what are you doing, bro? Chill." Like, you know, at least hit him with that. Ethan, like, it's so funny because he's not upset that they did the interview or they were bad at it. He's just upset that they talked to a couple anti-Semites afterwards, you know? It's like, what the fuck? That's like the wrong reason to be upset. You should be upset that Benjamin Netanyahu even got the microphone. You know? That should be the upsetting part. The other stuff is just like a bonus. It's like a cherry on top of the being upset. It's something that, you know, you could be a little more upset about. You know? Now when Steiny comes to you and texts you and says something like, "Be a bro just one time," that's when you pull that shit out and you go, "Be a bro." Well, what about you having these guys on too? You know, you should be mad about the actual issue. The fact that we had two frat boy idiots interviewing this guy with no fucking pushback at all. This guy just got like a free microphone to a younger generation, a more impressionable generation. with no pushback at all. That should be the real issue. Instead, Ethan goes, bro, he wasn't even defending Jews against Myran and against fucking Sneako and fucking Nick Fuentes. He's like had all these people and he sat there. Like, what? What, bro? You heard it. Myran said that the Jews run the government and did 9/11. They'll be fine. All right? You should be pissed off about the Benjamin Netanyahu, the genocide part, Ethan. I thought you backed Palestine. What about AB?
Government. And they did.
Look, I want to hear that again.
Myran calls in and they go, what's the problem? And Myran goes, hey guys, I'm just going to put it to you really simply. The Jews, he doesn't say Israeli or Zionist, he says, the Jews run the American government and they did 9/11. They are not our friends. What does Steiny do? He does this.
Yes. Yes.
Nothing.
Good old Steiny. Give
This
it up
is a
for
guy.
Steiny, dude.
Isn't Steiny Jewish?
Yes.
Steiny is Jewish
This is a
as fuck. Steiny's name is Aaron Steinberg, bro. That's about as Jewish as it gets. They don't make dreidels more Jewish than that last name. That was such a bad joke. I apologize. Let's move on.
Who I've had in-depth conversations with about anti-Semitism and how much he cares about anti-Semitism and how he wants to do more and how he's, he's a tough guy about it. And if they said that to my face, this and that, bro, you are, as far as I'm concerned, the biggest anti-Semite alive.
New title.
Look at
and
that.
I'll explain why. Maybe not the biggest. He's the biggest coward alive, and I'll explain this. Well, I think I'll tell you why. My first statement. I'll explain why I think he's the biggest anti-Semite. Okay. He goes from having Netanyahu.
Look, and now he's gonna try to explain this whole thing. Ethan is insane. He's just upset that his buddy talked to a couple people bashing Jews. What about the Benjamin Netanyahu? It's like, fuck the other guys, dude. They're obviously just every single person he's talking about has been like banned on like almost every platform. It's like, who fucking cares about them? You should be worried about the guy doing the actual damage, bro. All these people are just making talking points. It's so funny to me that now Ethan's like, me and Steiny aren't friends over this, and basically Steiny's whole world is over now because of that. It's kind of crazy, you know? But that'll do it for this episode of Lost Aux Media. Let's get a couple tunes playing, you know? Just a couple tunes. As always, I'd like to thank you for joining me on yet another episode of the show. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you, and I hope you had a lot of fun hanging out with me. A lot of Benjamin Netanyahu this episode, a lot of Jew talk, a lot of conspiracies. I hope you fall for every single one of them because I know that I do. I'm about to have a nice 2-hour-long conversation with Kurt Metzger about this whole thing to see what he thinks about it, and maybe I'll bring that back to you next week. Until next time, you can call into the show. That's 316-396-0025 if you want your voicemails read, you want advice, you want to say something nice about the show, you want to say something bad about the show, you can do it at that number. You can also stay up to date with all things Lost Aux Media, watch episodes of the show, catch up with us on our socials, or support the show by buying merch over at lostaux.media. That's lostaux.media. All right, that's going to be it for this episode. Until next time, good riddance to you and goodbye from me. I'll see you later.